As Thanksgiving break approaches, UT makes it easier for students to get their flu shot.
Find out how disruptions in the supply chain could now impact people as they try to get their prescription medications.
Beto O'Rourke enters his name in the race for governor.
Reporting Texas TV starts now.
Good evening, I'm Clark Dalton.
And I'm Riley Rogers. On the 40 acres, University Health Services have seen an increase in flu cases over the past 2 weeks.
Because of continued demand for the shot, UHS has extended giving flu shots until Thanksgiving break. Reporting Texas, Cassidy Ellison is live in studio to tell us more.
University Health Services has seen over 28 cases of the flu this year and almost 200 influenza-like illnesses. UHS is holding clinics twice a week from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. so students, faculty, and staff can protect themselves before going home for the holidays. This week, I looked at how the flu is affecting students. For UT senior Claudia Edgeworth, it took less than 2 weeks for her to get diagnosed with flu A after getting her flu shot.
I honestly was shocked I had the flu just because I had the flu shot. At that point, I hadn't really heard of many people having the flu.
University Health Services started giving flu shots September 28th. It was supposed to go until October 21st, but they extended their flu shot clinics twice a week until Thanksgiving break due to continued demand.
We did that because we anticipated an uptick in the flu, and we've seen it this last week and the week before last.
So far, more than 1,500 students, faculty, and staff have taken advantage of the extended clinics. UT senior Julia Snyder received her flu shot the second week of November.
This past October, I was just really busy with midterms and Texas OU weekend, and so I really didn't have time to get around to it until later on.
Since September, University Health Services have seen 28 confirmed flu cases. Normally, more than 350 flu cases are reported on campus each year.
The peak of the flu season is generally December through February. That's when we see the most cases. So it is not too late for students to get a flu shot.
Once students schedule an appointment online, they will receive a barcode that they will show on their phones in order to check in for their appointment at the SSV building. UHS encourages students who have not received their shot to make an appointment now. For those without insurance or one not accepted by UHS, the flu shot costs $10. Next week is the last week students can schedule their flu shots at UHS. To make an appointment, check out this story at reportingtexas.com for a link.
A COVID pill could soon be available with hopes it might end the pandemic. Pfizer is asking for federal regulators to authorize the Paxlovid pill, a medicine meant to treat patients who are sick with COVID-19. On Tuesday, Pfizer announced a deal that allows other manufacturers to make the pill. In effect, this could make this treatment available to half of the world's population. Pharmacies are struggling to keep shelves stocked. Disruptions within the supply chain have slowed the production and shipment of medications, leading to a shortage in prescription medications. Pharmacists say that the shortages could force their customers to go without important medications, including insulin, hydrocortisone, and Adderall.
We've had prescriptions that we can't get the medication. We'll try to, go to second and third parties.
The FDA says that over 100 drugs are in short supply. The same drug that killed former UT linebacker Jake Ellinger has taken the lead in most overdoses and deaths in the United States. The synthetic opioid, fentanyl, is known to be 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. The drug has killed more than 100,000 people in the past year, according to the CDC. Fentanyl is being sold as a counterfeit Oxycontin, Xanax, and Percocet.
Look exactly like the real thing, and as much as we might try to give people pointers about identifying them, it's incredibly challenging.
The drugs are made to look like prescription pills and sold through the internet, except these are laced with lethal amounts of opiates.
Last Friday, Seton Ascension Hospital began suspending employees who weren't fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Some employees are quitting after hospital officials denied their medical or religious exemptions from getting the vaccine. This policy comes 4 months after Seton announced the mandate.
Travis County District Attorney Jose Garza released a plan Tuesday to reduce gun violence in the Austin area. There have been over 80 homicides reported in Travis County so far this year. This breaks the record for most homicides in Austin for a single year. Although the numbers are lower than other major cities, Garza believes the number can come down.
We have a responsibility to do everything we can to quell the rising number of homicides in our community and to prevent violence before it happens.
Here's a look at the 4-point plan Mr. Garza proposed. It consists of the use of new prosecution strategies for gun crimes, the implementation of new intervention and prevention programs, removes guns from those at high risk of domestic violence, and increasing of support for survivors and families affected by gun violence.
The jury in the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse is on day 3 of its deliberations. Rittenhouse is charged with shooting 3 men, killing 2 of them during a protest against police brutality in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The defense argues that Rittenhouse fired in self-defense. The defense also asked for a mistrial due to a video shown during the prosecution's closing argument, claiming they received a condensed version of the video. Central Texas Blood Bank We Are Blood is asking for more donations. Recent gun violence in the holidays have contributed to the shortage. The blood bank is asking for O negative, O positive, and platelet donations. If you want to help, you can visit their website at weareblood.org.
Former U.S. Representative Beto O'Rourke has decided to run for governor in the 2022 gubernatorial race. In his campaign announcement, the Democratic candidate explained his grievances with the direction of the current administration. The handling of the power grid failure, voting/abortion laws, and education are all things that O'Rourke believes could have been handled better.
They were abandoned by those who were elected to serve and look out for them. Those in positions of public trust have stopped listening to, serving, and paying attention to, and trusting the people of Texas, and so they're not focused on the things that we really want them to do.
If O'Rourke is elected as the Democratic candidate in the primary election, he will be challenging incumbent Greg Abbott.
Coming up, Austin residents struggling to pay rent could lose their assistance.
Young artists show their skills with the Patel at Latino Art Weekend.
Location, location, location. What if the most valuable locations are not based on land value, but other things, like proximity to schools, safe bicycle lanes, and convenient transit stops?
Connectivity is a really important part of creating a walkable city. Not only do you want your streets to be connected, but they need to be connected for all modes.
Well, active transit is one of the most important ways we can put physical activity back into our daily lives, whether it's walking to work, walking to the bus stop, bicycling, or walking to school.
Well, good active neighborhoods are places that are comfortable for kids and comfortable for elderly folks. If you make it safe and comfortable for kids, it works pretty well for the rest of us.
Every journey starts with a walk. To learn more about healthy active lifestyles, visit healthyplaceshealthypeople.org.
This is CJ, the CEO of CJ's Produce. I'm the muscle, she's the brains.
It works.
My great-grandfather has owned the Brantley Estate since the early 1950s. It has stayed in our family, and we're trying to make him proud.
We had plenty of food and love, and that's what got us where we are today.
Mama Tia is my grandmother. She was actually the first in the family to get vaccinated. I was afraid. Leslie was going to get the shot. I came up with every excuse anybody else would say. My grandmother got her shot. When I saw how strong she was, it was like, I'm a healthy young man. Why can't I?
Did I have reservations? Absolutely. But doing your research, weighing the options of what works best for you, getting the vaccination is helping your fellow brethren, regardless of how you may disagree with them.
CJ has been the motivation for a lot of things. He needs his father there to show him how to become a man. So I am fully vaccinated. I have somebody counting on me, so we made the leap.
Latino art took center stage in Austin during a 3-day event to highlight emerging artists. Reporting Texas TV's Jaxie Pigeon looks at how this experience impacted undeserved communities in the city.
Growing up in Austin, Monica Maldonado says she struggled to navigate being Mexican and American.
I love it too.
Something about art made her proud to be Chicana.
Art was really the first time that I really saw myself and really understood what it was to be a first generation.
Noticing a lack of Latino art in Austin, she co-created Latino Art Weekend.
I think it's important to recognize that Latinos are here in Austin, and I think in some ways we've kind of gotten lost in the growth of the city.
65 Latino artists are sharing over 125 pieces of their artwork with the Austin community. Pieces like this one from Filiberto Mendieta.
Culture is everything. It's something that we have to stay on, you know, like if we let it diminish, then what do we have?
Attendee Dorothy Vasquez says gentrification made her feel less connected to her culture, but the Conexiones exhibit helped her revive it.
Stepping into here and feeling connected immediately to the work was like being home.
Maldonado hopes to continue advocating for underrepresented artists and underserved neighborhoods to ensure Latino culture is being preserved in Austin.
There's wonderful art in Austin. There's no doubt about it. At the end of the day, though, for me, I just want us to see ourselves in the art also.
In Austin, Jaxie Pigeon, reporting Texas TV.
The event organizers hope to continue the Latino Art Weekend in Austin in the future. You can learn more at reportingtexas.com.
Austin's rent program is no longer accepting applicants. The city has distributed this year's funding to over 8,000 renters in need and are unsure when they will get more money. You can call 211 or visit austintexas.com/rent to sign up to be notified when more funding becomes available and applications reopen.
Samsung is being offered major tax incentives to come to Texas and build a $17 billion plant. The company is considering putting its chip-making plant in Taylor. The City Council approved tax incentives for this potential plant earlier this month. This would create 1,800 jobs and rapid housing growth in its neighboring cities.
It might be time for a warm apple cider. Austin gets a little bit chilly with temperatures dropping.
Texas football has been breaking records, but not in a way you might have hoped. Find out what Coach Sark has to say when we come back.
I think that sometimes we can coast, especially in the age of social media, where we don't have to talk to our friends to know what they're up to and we assume how they're feeling. But when we go that extra mile, when we take that extra step to look them in the eye and say, how are you doing? Or tell me about X, Y, and Z, often we're just so happy to be seen that it opens up a dialogue pretty organically.
All you can do is help. I think it's always better to just do it than to hold back because, you know, the whole bystander effect happens where someone thinks, oh, but someone else will ask and someone else will give help to that person or someone else must have already noticed by now. But if everyone thought that, then no one would actually reach out and that person may not get the help that they need.
The hardest thing with mental health is it becomes a spiral. And sometimes all you literally need is a little catalyst to help you to stop.
When I'm in pain or when I'm suffering, I have a really hard time reaching out and asking for help.
I know it's so hard to talk about mental health, but when you don't talk about it, you feel more isolated, you feel more alone.
If you feel something in your gut, if you feel something's wrong, you should, talk to them about that.
Sometimes starting a conversation with someone about their mental health can seem awkward, but your support can make a huge difference.
And I think that that's hopeful in those really dark times.
You might not know what to say, but there are a lot of things you can say to open things up.
I know you're going through some stuff, and I want you to know I'm here.
I deal with the same issues as well.
Maybe it's me, but I was wondering if you're all right.
Learn more about how to start the conversation at seizetheawkward.org.
Y'all, I couldn't get any sleep last night because, did you hear that wind? That was huge. That big cold front came through, but it's been a beautiful day out there.
Clark, we can't tell you didn't get any sleep. You have plenty of energy today. So we have Anna Kate with here today to tell us what the weather is going to be like for Thanksgiving break. What can we expect?
Yeah, so we've got a big week ahead of us. Everyone's traveling back home for Thanksgiving. Finals are getting closer, and for some lucky Longhorns, ring day is tomorrow. So we could use some nice little weather. Luckily, the forecast is looking great. So let's take a look at what's going on outside. The wind was brutal at the tower today. It's still nice and sunny though, so as long as you've got your jacket on, you should be good to go. Now, it's been a gorgeous day that actually felt like fall. Our high for today is 67 degrees and our low is 60 degrees. It's a nice break from the Austin heat. Now, get ready to cozy up by the fire because our high for tonight is 60 degrees and our low is 50 degrees. Now, maybe I'm just a Texan, but I'm glad I have my coat on. For the rest of the week, we'll stay in the 60s and 70s. For those traveling home, you shouldn't have to worry about rain until Wednesday. While it may get a little stormy later in the week, this weekend is perfect for frying a turkey for Thanksgiving or even adding some new bling to your UT wardrobe. And you know, I'm really excited because tonight it's going to be clear skies and we're going to have a great view of the tower turning orange.
You know what, Anna Kay, I'm participating in the ring ceremony, so I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing an orange tower because it's been a while that we've seen an orange tower on a Saturday.
Oh, Clark, I knew you were going to say something smarky like that.
Come on.
Erwin, hello Moody Center. Coming up, we'll take a look at what this means for UT.
A star player falls for Texas football. Find out the latest injury update for running back Bijan Robinson.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best.
Wait, am I right or you're right?
Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. That surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
We want to be that safe space for each other for the rest of our lives.
She protects me, I protect her. We are officially going to start a family. We will protect them from anything. I'm in the fire department and I'm in the National Guard.
Packing out for drill.
I was tasked to administer the vaccine in Oxford, so I saw firsthand what we were dealing with. We decided to approach the vaccine with openness. A lot of questions were asked. When the vaccine was available to us, we were able to get it.
Her mom is very immune compromised.
We've not lost anyone close to us from COVID. I really think so much of that is due to the vaccine. I don't know what would have happened if my mom would have gotten COVID. I'm glad I don't know.
I got the vaccine for others. I was worried about passing it on.
People are worried about the vaccine and what effects that might have later. I'm worried about living in the time that I have right now. I want to enjoy my mom and my grandparents while they are here. This time right now is precious to me.
Welcome back. I'm Jake Herman reporting from the Sports Desk. The UT basketball season for both the men's and women's teams began last Tuesday in what will soon become their former home. I was courtside at the Erwin Center on its last first day.
The ball is tipped and the clock is ticking. Set to be demolished at the end of the season, the Frank Erwin Center is home to one more year of Longhorn basketball. Jody Conrad coached the women in their first ever game here. Now she's a full-time fan.
It was rocking and it was exciting, and the energy in the building was incredible.
With capacity restrictions lifted and a new pair of coaches at the helm, interest in Texas basketball is soaring. The men's team announced a record in season ticket sales, while the women nearly scored the most points in program history Tuesday.
I was really proud of them tonight. I thought they looked relaxed. I thought they were into what we were trying to do. They caught us tonight, you know, on a night where we were ready to roll, and it worked hard on that.
Today, most basketball arenas are shared by both men's and women's teams. But that wasn't typical back in 1977 when the Frank Erwin Center first opened.
There were locker rooms, obviously, but they weren't meant for the women because, and the reason I know that is because they had urinals in them.
But after 45 years and quite a few wins, Conrad says this building has helped grow the women's game nationwide.
It's about the university and the community, how they embraced women's athletics. And it was a trendsetter. There were things that happened in Austin, Texas with women's basketball that other programs across the country tried to emulate.
Both teams are back in action Saturday as the women travel to Tennessee while the men host San Jose State. Texas running back Bijan Robinson is out for the rest of the season. The star tailback dislocated his elbow in the second half of the team's 57-56 loss to Kansas. Robinson rushed for over 1,000 yards this season and scored 11 touchdowns. The sophomore ranks among the top 10 in rushing yards among all running backs in college football. Texas football is breaking records for all the wrong reasons. The Longhorns were 31-point favorites on Saturday against Kansas, but found themselves trailing by 3 possessions at halftime. Texas fought back to tie the game with a last-minute touchdown, but Kansas was able to win on an overtime 2-point conversion. It was the first time that Kansas has ever won in Austin, and for Texas, it marked their 5th consecutive loss.
And sometimes through the struggle, which clearly we're in the midst of, you start to get a little bit more clarity on maybe some of the issues that if we had found a way to win some of these fourth quarter games, if we had found a way to win this game in overtime, sometimes those issues kind of get masked over with winning.
If Texas can't find a way to win one of their last 2 games, it will be the first season in Longhorn history to feature 7 conference losses. Baylor University has been fined $25,000 after a field-storming fiasco during their game against the Oklahoma Sooners on Saturday. Baylor students and fans stormed onto the field after mistaking a timeout call for the conclusion of the game, damaging some of Oklahoma's equipment in the process. After the chaos, Baylor kicked a field goal, winning the game 27-14. Austin FC's nonprofit partner has begun installing a mini soccer pitch in an East Austin park. It will be located in the Civitan Neighborhood Park and is the 3rd pitch 4ATX Foundation has helped to install. The goal of the mini pitch is to create a space where young people and families can gather and make connections through soccer. It will be open in the near future. Guys, I don't care how big the pitch is. Soccer is growing in Austin, and it's just so exciting to see.
Yeah, it's exciting to see with Austin FC, and I think there's just a lot of excitement around Austin sports programs right now. Even at UT, with women's basketball beating the defending national champions in Stanford, you have to be excited about it.
Clark, I'm glad you said that because I am really looking forward to this basketball season. I was worried you were going to have a little bit more to say, but he's feeling positive today.
I am feeling positive.
Well, I like that.
The energy was just buzzing. There was nothing to do with it.
Netflix is bringing a reality TV show to Austin featuring strangers from all across the country.
YouTube is going to start looking a little different. After the break, we'll talk about what feature will now be hidden.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful sunny day today, and we can expect much more of the same.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Motorcycles are not invisible, but they can seem that way to drivers who aren't paying close attention. Look twice for motorcycles. There's a life riding on it.
Somos papichulos, recuerden, don't mess with Texas, y'all.
So we all want to be cool, right? Well, here's how to be cool when you hit the trails in Austin. Cool people know that sharing the trail is, well, cool. Do you think it's cool to be that guy? Didn't think so. Cool people keep our parks clean by disposing of their waste. And when hiking or biking, don't be like that guy and stick to trails whenever possible. Being cool is as simple as remembering to respect our natural spaces. Learn how to be cool by visiting austintexas.gov/leave-no-trace. Stay cool, Austin.
The Roaring Twenties are coming to Austin. A new Austin-based Netflix reality series has released its trailer, inspired by NTV's Real World. Roaring Twenties will be the new documented path to self-discovery for 8 young adults. The cast relocated from cities all over the U.S. to live together and experience Austin's culture. The series premieres on December 10th on the streaming service.
In order to reduce stress for content creators, YouTube is hiding dislikes from viewers. The aim is to get rid of dislike attacks and prevent harassment for smaller creators. Viewers will still be given the option to dislike videos, but will not be able to see them compared to likes. This change is very similar to the one made by Instagram earlier this year, which allowed creators to hide the number of likes on a post.
Twitter came out with an update that will prevent auto-refreshing on users' feeds. This comes after complaints that tweets were disappearing while people were still reading them. With a new tool called a tweet counterbar, users will be able to load more recent tweets at the top of their timelines.
The UT Tower will be lit up burnt orange tonight in honor of those receiving class rings. After a night's sleep in the tower, the rings will be ready for pickup at 3:30 Friday afternoon. UT's president and Texas X's executive director will speak at the event. To be eligible to purchase a ring, undergraduates must have 75 hours completed towards their degree. I am looking forward to that tonight. I am actually going to be receiving my ring. How about you, Clark?
That's awesome. Riley, I gotta be honest, today's my birthday, so I saved up that money for a PlayStation so I could go by with Walter and we could, maybe play Call of Duty or something later online.
Oh my gosh, happy birthday, Clark. Thank you for being here on your birthday. Any plans for the big day?
Just chilling.
Just chilling, I love that. Well, thank you for joining us tonight on Reporting Texas TV. Happy birthday to Clark.
And don't forget, if you would like to check out any of our stories or our newscasts, please visit reportingtexas.com. We'll see you in 2 weeks after Thanksgiving break. Good night.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.